What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor here, and this is the remodel update for 3502 Crocus here in Phoenix, Arizona. As you can see, the house has come a long way. It's been about 3 weeks since we were last here. Painted the exterior, got all the wood rot taken care of. You know, the exterior is looking pretty good. I'm going to take you inside here in a second and show you what we've done inside. It's come a long way since our last update. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple major learning lessons that we painfully learned along the way. Man, enough chit chat. Let's go on inside. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Transformed since the last time you guys were here. Obviously, we have all the major construction done. All the walls are now textured. The painters are actually here doing their thing. It is looking phenomenal. I'm very happy with the speed, quality, and progress that we've had on this project. On the floor, as you can see here, we went with a tile on this one. And one of the reasons we went with tile versus doing laminates or something maybe a little cheaper is because when we blew this wall out, right, and opened up this floor plan, one of the biggest challenges we had is this used to be the garage, and if you remember, it actually dropped down by about 2-3 inches right here, and we had to raise the concrete up. So our concrete guy came out and poured concrete. The problem with concrete when it comes to flooring is you have to have it perfectly smooth if you ever want to do laminate. So because it wasn't perfectly smooth, we had to go with tile, because with tile you actually use a thin set, and that's what sticks the tile down to the floor. Normally laminate you just lay right on top of concrete, but if it's not perfectly smooth, you don't want to go with laminate because otherwise it gets little wavy ripples and bubbles, and when you step on it you can kind of feel it flex. But with tile, you can lay what's called thin set down. And even right now, you can see that that corner is not completely done. And the reason it's not done is because of the way the old garage sloped to drain water out. We keep putting more thin set and more thin set and more thin set there. Sometimes the thin set is 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. Sometimes it's really, really thin. But you gotta get more thin set and build that up so it's perfectly level. And that has been a lot of frustration with us because our concrete guy did not do exactly what he said he was gonna do. We're never gonna use him again. That's kind of lessons learned on the job. You try out a sub, you see how they do. They promise you the world. If they don't perform, you never use them again. So now we're stuck with more thin set trying to level everything out. But we're gonna get that fixed. But I'm actually kind of happy that it happened just because the tile looks amazing. All right, check this out. If you remember the kitchen, the old kitchen had the island sideways. We added a brand new island, decided to go with the whites, the grays, the blues again because we get amazing feedback every time we do that. It's kind of hot right now. So we're painting the island right now. Obviously the cabinets look amazing. All we did was resurface the old cabinets and paint them white. And we didn't have to replace all the cabinets and they look fantastic. You can see here in the laundry room, if you remember, this used to be all funky. There was a hallway here, this didn't exist. We moved the laundry room from the back of the house, which was actually used to be right here, and we moved it forward to right here. And it looks amazing. Quick tip for the laundry rooms. Anytime you want to move a laundry room or you want to redo a bathroom, if there's not a window in the space, obviously there's no window there, you have to have a fan with a vent. Okay, so you either have to have a window or a fan with a vent. Now maybe your local rules, construction rules, might be a little different, but I'm willing to bet it's going to be something similar. And so we had to work really hard to move the vent and install a ventilation ductwork in order to be able to put a vent and move the laundry room forward. So just something for you to know and think about. All right, let me show you the master bedroom. Now, I don't know if you remember this, the old closet used to come out right here, and we obviously got rid of that so that way it opened up the master bedroom to have more available livable square footage, and then we turned the old laundry room into the new master bedroom closet. And if you spin around, I don't know if you remember this, but we had a door here, some funky window thing here, and then another door right here. It made no sense to have a door, a window that looks like a door, and a door. So what we did is we basically took the doorknob off and we just sheetrocked right over top the door. So now from the inside, even though the door's still behind the sheetrock, you can't even tell that there used to be a door here. And then the window, we did the exact same thing. And now from the exterior, check this out. If you turn around, you can see it looks nice and smooth. There's one door leading to the back from the master bedroom. Even though there's a window behind here, you can't tell because we put this right over top of it. And even though there's a door behind here, you can't even tell, even though it's framed in. You guys know because you're on the inside, right? I'm giving you the inside scoop on how to save money on rehabs. But anybody else who just comes over to visit, they're not going to know that this used to be this ugly door-window combo. As far as the rest of the backyard, since we're here, I don't know if you remember, but I told you the grass is going to grow. We're going to throw some seed down. I'm going to save some money, and the grass is going to grow. It didn't work. It didn't work because somebody turned the water off, and so none of the seeds grew. So we re-threw out new seeds, and I'm praying that nobody shuts the water off again. If it doesn't grow for some reason, it's kind of growing. Kind of looks like my dad's hair. A little splotchy in places, but it's not all there. So we're gonna have to lay some sod down, which I'm hoping to not have to do. Hopefully the seeds grow. Anyways, let's go back in here. I want to show you one more thing in the master. Check out how good the master bathroom turned out. Look at this. Let's see if I can get some light going on. Can you see that? There's no lights up in there. Good try. That was a noble attempt. All right, look at how good the tile work turned out. This shower is going to be so much better compared to the original one that was back here. And we're going to do a built-in shelving system right here to store all your linens. I couldn't be more happy with the way this turned out. We moved the toilet over a little bit and it turned out amazing. All these cabinets were able to be saved. We painted them. We're going to put all new countertops, new sinks in here, new hardware, new lights. By the time we're done, this bathroom is going to look really, really good. All right, follow me. I'll show you one more thing. Now, remember there used to be this weird build out right here. That's now gone. The bathroom's looking fresh. Tile throughout the entire house. The only places we're not going to do tile is in the bedrooms, right, where we're going to lay carpet. This bedroom, I tripped on it, then you tripped on it. This bathroom turned out amazing. The tile work turned out great. I think people are really going to like this house. This one's going to make us a lot of money, and I'm very happy with the tile guy, the paint guy, the flooring guy. The only person that has been a no bueno sub is our concrete guy, but he's out. I already have a new guy coming in for our next project. All right, let me give you some money-saving tips, and then I'll let you go for right now. A lot of times people go to like Home Depot or Lowe's to source their materials, and I think that's great, especially if you're in a pinch or if you have a great relationship with your local Home Depot or Lowe's. However, for specialty items like baseboards or doors, a lot of times you can go to a local specialty shop, all right? And so at Home Depot, if I would have bought this same amount of baseboards, it would have cost me about 50% more than where we got them, which was a local vendor that's all they do is baseboards and doors, all right? And so we were able to save about 50% for our baseboards. Another little tip is A lot of times if you're bidding out subs on a project, if you talk to a painter, maybe one painter will say, oh, I'll do paint for 75 cents a square foot. And then some other painter might say, I'll do it for 80 cents a square foot. So if you want to paint, let's say, the wall all the way along the entire house, you know, that might be $800 worth of them painting if that's their bid. A lot of times a handyman or a single person that just does, you know, they're not a full-time painter, they might come in and you can say, hey, for 300 bucks, will you paint my fence? And they'll say, yeah, go get the materials, I'll paint the fence. And they'll get a spray gun and paint it. So you always want to try and bid out a painter, for instance, and then also bid out your handyman and see which one's going to provide you the better value. Where you want to use a painter is for like stuff like this, right? Where it's really detailed. You don't want to screw that up. It's got to, they're professionals. They want to be on point. But if you're just going to paint an entire wall or you're going to paint an exterior wall or something like that, and a handyman can do it, go with that. Also, one last money-saving tips. The door hardware at the Tempe project, we went and bought from Home Depot. It cost about $85 for that door hardware. I just ordered all the door hardware for this entire kitchen, and I got it all for $40 from a website, on an online provider of hardware called Cosmas, C-A-S-M-A-S. If you Google Cosmas hardware, the website will probably come up. I don't get any benefit other than you get money saving if you order your hardware from them. But here's the most important thing. Make sure you get your quantity down perfectly. I screwed up on one thing. I ordered all of my hardware, but I forgot one handle. And because of shipping and handling, in order to buy the one handle that I was missing, I had to pay another $8 in shipping and handling fees. So it kind of defeated my whole money-saving thing. So make sure you get the quantity right if you're going to order from an online vendor like that. What do you guys think? Not bad so far, right? Project is moving along. I'm thinking we're about maybe 2 to 3 weeks out before staging comes in. We'll get it staged, we'll get it listed, and we'll get this bad boy sold. And there's a big profit margin in this one, so I'm really excited for this one to hit the market. And we're timing the market perfect here in Arizona because it's right before summer, in the best time of year in the spring, where all the real estate market starts opening back up. So I have good feelings on this one. If you like videos like this, or you like this video, please make sure that you smash that like button, you subscribe to my channel, turn on those post notifications, and down below this video, let me hear your thoughts. Do you have some money-saving tips? Do you have some real rehabbing insider knowledge that you want to share with the rest of the Clever Investor community? Make sure you put a comment down below and let a brother know. Until next time, that's all I have. I'm Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor, signing off for now. Take care. Comb your hair. Sperber out. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Hey, listen, while you're here, why don't you click the tab in the upper right-hand corner and grab my new book, How to Flip Houses with Little No Money Down. It's a step-by-step guide on how I got wealthy in real estate and how you can too. Hope it helps. Oh, don't forget to watch the 2 videos also.